today we're here to measure your flexion. So we're going to start with shoulder flexion, which is this motion here, okay? And then we'll do elbow flexion, which is that motion there. We're going to do hip flexion, this motion here. Knee flexion, which is this. We'll come and do, slide down a little bit, but we'll do plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, okay? And then I'm gonna have you roll over on your stomach. We'll do shoulder extension, and then we'll do hip extension, okay? We'll do it on your left side, and then we'll do it on your right side, so ensure you're balanced, okay? Okay, so for the shoulder flexion, we're going to come across, and the point of axis is going to be your Monian process down your humerus to the epicondyle process here, okay? The stationary line is going to be the axillary midline of your trunk. Okay, so if you will go ahead and flex your shoulder. Okay. And that would say that you have 100 and, yeah, it says you have about 78 degrees of flexion, okay? So pull your arm back up. I'd like to measure that one more time. I want to get right there with this. And I want this right there. Okay, now flex your arm, your shoulder. Yeah, very good flexion. Yeah, so right at about 180 degrees. Very good. Okay. Now your elbow flexion is going to be from your epicondyle of the humerus, okay? And then a little stationary arm will come, that'll be the stationary arm here on your humerus. And then the moving arm will come down to the styloid process here, styloid, okay? Okay, so if we do it this way. Okay. Actually, could I have you, no, you're fine right there. Okay, so go ahead and flex your elbow. Maybe just a little bit there. And elbow flexion. So you can see right there that elbow flexion is right at about 148. Okay, so we're on this process there, and our axis is here. Okay. Now we'll do your hip flexion. Okay, so if you'll extend your leg, both legs lay flat. Okay, and what I want to do is find your greater trochanter, which is here. If you move and rotate your leg back. Do that one more time. Okay, right there would be our axis. Okay, this will be stationary. Now if you'll bring your hip up and you can flex your knee at the same time. Okay, so hip flexion is right at 135 centimeters. Okay. Okay, now on your knee flexion, again, we're going to use your femur as the stationary. The axis is going to be your epicondyle, okay? And then we're going to go down the femoral bone to the melanosis process here. Okay, so we'll get right here, and if you'll flex your knee. flexion there, so you can see our axis is here at the epicondyle, and then you can see there at the meiosis process there, we end up with a degree of flexion of 140 at the knee. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to slide it down just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Okay, we're going to go from the meiosis process to the fifth metatarsal. Okay, so if you come up to 90, here's 90. Okay. Okay, so that's 90. So if you dorsiflex now, okay, so there we had dorsiflexion, oh, maybe 12 degrees. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, let's go back to 90. No, don't plantarflex yet. Okay, then we have 90 degrees. So if you'll plantarflexion now, and there we have plantarflexion. So we have this on the line of the foot, the fifth metatarsal. So we have this angle, and this is our axis here at the meiosis, and that gives us a plantarflexion of, say, 59 degrees. Okay, that's good. So again, for the shoulder flexion, we have the same axis on the body of the trunk, the axial line here, and then we're going to go from the ecumonium process to the epicondyle of the humerus. So, around there. Let me get this axon. Okay, now if you'll raise your arm, yes, there you go, as much as you can. Okay, so we're on the axis, which is the acromonial process, the epicondyle of the humerus, and that shows me a flexion or extension of 40 degrees. Okay, now the hip, you put your arm up. Again, we'll go from the trochanter, we'll use the midline of the pelvis and the midline of the axial line of the body. We'll go down the trochanter to the femur epicondyle. Okay, now on this one, I'm going to ask you to extend your leg up like that. Okay, so let me get my arms ready. Again, would you rotate your leg back and forth? Not yeah, that way. Okay, a little bit. Okay, right there is our axis. Trunk line of the body. Now, if you'll flex your leg. Okay, we have an extension of about 14 degrees. Okay? Okay, now, thank you very much. Okay. Now, if you sit up, we're going to do a stretch test on the floor. I will do some exercise and I'll do the stretch test. Again, it's a sitting stretch test. Continuation of the sit and stretch, or the flexibility, and this is called a sit and reach. And what I'll have you do is I want your heels even with the end of this tape here, which is the 15-inch mark, and then we want them about 6 inches apart and I'm going to have you reach here as far as you can, okay? And again, we'll do this 2 times so that we can get a measurement. But we've had you do some flexibility already, or some warming up, so that we can get your true reach out here, okay? All right, stop there. Okay, you ready? Okay, so your feet will be, scooch back a little bit, right there, 6 inches apart, a little bit back further. And right there. Okay. Now I want you to stretch forward as far as you can. Okay. Come and get a measure of this. Look at this. So take a deep breath, stretch. Okay, so that is 22.5 inches. Thank you. And we can see that the start line is at 15 inches. Okay. Okay, so now we're doing the left side measurements for the flexion, elbow or shoulder flexion. So we'll go from the, come on and process here, down the humerus to the epicondyle, and I'll have you extend it, and then I can measure against the midline of your body. So please extend your arm. There, and you have great extension, so reflection. So we have, let's see, 179 degrees. Okay. You can put your arm down. We're going to do elbow, epicondyle process of the humerus down to the styloid process of the radial hair, radial bone. Okay, so if you will flex your elbow. Okay. Okay, so oops. The flexion there is 155 degrees. Okay. Now we'll do the hip. We'll give your foot back and forth. Okay, right there. Do it one more time. Okay, right there. Okay, now if you will flex your hip up. Yes, there we go. The femur to the epicondyle process, and that gives us a flexion of 130 degrees. Okay, now we'll do the knee, which goes down the fibral to the malleosus process here, your ankle. Again, we'll go up the femur to the trochanter. So if you will flex your knee. Okay, our axis is here, down to the trochanter. Okay, lift your, yeah, there we go. Get more flexion that way. Okay, and there we have a flexion of 135 degrees. Oops, sorry. 135 degrees. Okay. Now we will measure dorsiflexion. So again, we're going from the malleosis, we're going up the febrile as the stationary, we come to the fifth metatarsal, and we're going to have you, let's see where it, 90 degrees there, actually. Okay, now dorsiflex for me, please. Very good. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do that one more time. Okay, hang on. Do that one more time. Okay. And there we had, actually that was 20 degrees. Dorsiflexion. Okay. And we're at 90 degrees. Now if you'll do plantarflexion. And there we have, okay, dorsiflexion there is about a 154 degrees. Sorry, plantarflexion. Plantarflexion was 154 degrees. Okay. Very good. Nice flexion. Okay, now we need you to roll over on your stomach again, please. Okay, we're going to do hip extension. Okay, from the trochanter down the femur to the epicondyle. Okay, if you'll wiggle back and forth. Right there. And then we're going to have you lift your leg as far as you can. Okay. To the epicondyle. Okay. And that gave us an extension of, say, 14 degrees. Okay. Now we're going to do shoulder extension. So if you'll lay your arm down this way. Okay, so we'll go from the Ankylonian process and down to the epicondyle of the humerus. So stationary arms here, and right there. So if you'll extend your elbow or your shoulder. Very good extension, there we go. Okay, so there's our axis, center line of the body, up to the epicondyle, and we have an extension of about 20 degrees. Okay? Now your heel's right here. A little bit right there. Right there. Okay. Okay, so you're going to do, you can start. We're going to do the reach, sit and reach flexibility test your second time, so go ahead. Come over here. Okay, nice deep breath and stretch. 22 and a half. Very good, thank you. Okay, now, again, your flexibility is very good, and all within the normal ranges. Your shoulder flexion was as good as it can get. Your elbow flexion was very good. Hip flexion, good. Knee flexion was very good. Your hip extension is a bit limited. Are you experiencing pains?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, and the pain comes
Yes.
and where to? Describe it.
It's a pain that starts, it's on my
Left side.
the right side.
Right side.
And it starts from the front of my feet to the glute,
Uh-huh.
kind of like
Okay.
middle glute has a pain.
So you might have some tightness should also make sure that it's not sciatic nerve syndrome where you have a compression in your disc or something. But I can give you some stretching exercises for that. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I need to put this tape down on the floor.